July 16th, 2013, I get the call saying, you need to show up at this particular place somewhere where you don't have a car. Oh my God. So the first thing that came to my mind is I gotta find a car. Being in San Francisco, I thought, what's the first car I should probably be looking at? What do you think, Mike? What do you think it is?
Hybrid.
A hybrid, right? Because everyone likes a hybrid. I mean, there's lots of different choices of hybrids. You could go ahead and get the Toyota Prius. It's a pretty sexy looking little pill there. Right? The Honda Insight. Basically a Prius, but just cheaper. A CRZ. Now we're looking a little bit nicer, but I saw that in 1991 when it was called the CRX. Now we rock through the Chevy Volt. Yes, the Americans get one on the board with a spectacularly large nothing, because I can't tell you what that looks like. And then this one. This is just ludicrous. There's no way I'm going to afford that thing, but I thought, why not, right? It's my speech. Tesla Model S. But really, what the question I had, which I think a lot of you guys have, is who wants to avoid $4.79 gas? I mean, anybody here? Who does not like that concept? Is that your number one priority when looking for a brand new car? When it comes to a hybrid? Gas mileage, right? But is that the only cost that really takes the game? Is that the one you should be looking at? The accountant in me, and my initials kicked in just a little bit, thinking there must be something else up to this. Let's take one example. What is the cost of one of these things? A Prius costs you 30 grand to 21 grand, right? Obviously, you're going to go for this one, because then you get something that actually feels like a car. The Insight, it's horrible. Don't look at that car. The CRZ, not too shabby, but you only have 2 seats, and it's incredibly slow for a sport wagon, sport little compact. The Chevy Volt, this thing's 40 grand. Even after the $7,500 federal tax rebate, it's still 31 grand plus delivery, plus taxes, plus registration. Yeah, so it gets, and then of course the Model S is ridiculous. You're talking almost 90 grand right there just for a car, and you can only go 80 miles. That one's off the board, but it's an interesting car. This, though, this is the one that perked my interest when I was looking for a car in July. I said, you know what? Toyota Prius C, it's the new compact model. This guy only costs you $24,000, plus you get 53 miles to the gallon. Right? Crazy gas mileage for sure. Now, how much would it go? I do about 6,000 miles in a year, so I calculated off of 6,000 miles at $4.09 a gallon, which was basically when I did the calculation. You could buy 2 Starbucks coffees a week and spend more at Starbucks than you would at a gas station with a Prius. Pretty awesome. Who would be sold right now? Who would want the keys to a Prius if I could tell you coffee costs you more than your gas? Right? All right, so let's find out, keeps going, and see how this gets. So your upfront cost on year 1 is your upfront for a lease, because you're always going to do a lease on a new car, because then you don't have to amortize the tax initially. All right, but that's because accountant stuff. Don't worry about it. Year 2, now we're just getting into the lease payments, which is in this case is $251 a month, negotiated down, but that's the best I could get out of this car. And you're talking that plus insurance, about $68 a month, and then of course your huge gas bill, $480 a year, but $4,300 a year. So for the privilege of driving a hybrid, you're really spending about $350 a month after everything. So you have to figure 3-year lease, so I did everything off 3 years. Buy out at the end. Obviously lease, you can buy out the car at the end. 15 G's. Total cost, $29,000 right to the side of the gut. That's when my body started going, you know what, June, is that a good deal? Are you going to save money? Is that $4.79 gas really kicking it to you? No, of course not. There's other options. This is the silver turd. How to get it? I'm going to show you. This is how I got it. All right? Total cost, Craigslist, $3,500 and a pack of beer. I gave her a pack of PBR and she dumped the cost $100. Hippies, no idea. Gas mileage, ridiculously horrible. It's a third of what I could get with the Prius. 18 miles to the gallon was the top I could get. But here's how much it cost me. 3 times almost as much for gas. But cost is $500 cheaper than the Prius in the year 1. Year 2, I'm talking insurance of maybe $75, plus the gas is really the killer here. That's it. 2 grand. 2 grand, $9,784 at year 3. But I want you all to think. We should be thinking about break even. When does the Prius overtake the Subaru, because the Subaru is a gas hog. It's horrible, it looks bad, and it smells like somebody smoked in it. It's okay, you know. Well, you got to think about what's the difference between the costs. So in this case, after year 3, it's almost 30 grand and basically 9 grand, like 10 grand. So you're talking $20,000 difference. 20 grand. I'm not even going to tell you how much gas that is, but we'll get there. So how much per year would the Prius save me after everything's spent? Look at that, $715 in your pocket every year for driving a hybrid. But how long would it take you to differentiate that 20 grand? I don't know, how many can guess? How many years until the cost of the Prius and the Subaru match?
Another 5 years.
Oh no.
Like 26 years?
Getting close. You're right in the middle. 28 years. I am now 31 years old. Chances of me driving a 1970-some car? Not so good. So this is ridiculous, right? This is a car where literally you cannot drive that Subaru enough. Let's go to a different idea. This is a used BMW M3. 16 grand, 15 miles to the gallon-ish. It's a hog. It's like 1,700 bucks in gas. The point of this thing is just to show you, you could buy and drive a M3 beast car. It's still less money than a Prius. Now, again, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. How many years could you drive that M3 to match the cost of a really slow, Tupperware-feeling Prius C?
9 years.
Getting close. 6.36 years. You could literally drive an M3, which is boss, and people actually give you street cred with, longer than the average. The average person keeps a car for 4 years in the United States. You're still 2.5 years over that. Now, obviously, you can substitute the M3 for anything you want, even another Prius if you want to get an older one, right? Point is, just because you're looking at a car for gas mileage does not necessarily mean it's the cost, right? This is the thing most people get hung up about when it comes to hybrids and electrics and blah. You have to look at what is the actual cost of that car, not just, I get 50,000 miles to the gallon or whatever. That doesn't tell you anything. You have to look at all the costs. So the whole point of this is just to show you that just because you have a need for a car and saving gas money doesn't necessarily mean a hybrid is your trick. If I told you, Subhash, your M3 would save you more money than having a Prius, would you take the M3 or the Prius?
M3.
Boom, done, easy. So again, guys, look at it this way. That's how many years I could drive that car for the cost of this, and I could have this car for this many years for the cost of this. So make choices, make them wise. Don't buy a hybrid if you don't need it. So with that, Madam Tastemaster.
Thank you.